unilaterally make such decision without carrying the governors and past head of states or leaders along in such skin. And I listened to Erfa. I did say something about saying, I think Erfa calls it Naira confiscation, and that they said that stop and people can get their money in the bank. I don't really understand that one, but I don't find that. But let's listen to what was saying. CBN Governor and the Attorney General need this so that APC win. I think in full perspective from a political angle, who knows? In the next government, we have a president-elect now. In the next government, these two individuals may not have a job in 16, but then there is opening final before, so you never can tell. But let's into everything.
He was appointed central bank by the PDP and he's not put policy together with the PDP win the 2023 general election and deceive the president into thinking that it is possible to withdraw 2 trillion naira from citation everything in the country in all history of money. The president wrong information and the attorney and this policy. We know why. Go and look at anticipate this is the wanted for president in our and making. This is the revenge land.
More importantly, he said, which I believe a lot of you already thought this, he said that the president will comply with Supreme Court order. All right, listen.
Being is over, it has won each of the obstacles, but for us, it's important that ordinarians, traders, farmers, and investment can now put their go to your bank and call your money. What the federal government obeys that order is not federal government. And President Buhari, very part of the reason why I convinced my village to go to the Supreme Court because he misguided by advisor of the Supreme Court has spoken equivocally and confident that others will compete with.
Nigerians coming the policy came to effect. It's difficult to get Naira. Naira, like Jude say, began selling in the black market. Naira now had a black market. So you want to withdraw 10,000 from point of sales, yeah, you'd like 1,000 or 3,000 get 1,000 you spend as 100 1,000. All of these years, people could pay for drugs. Some people died as a result of the stress emanating from Naira City. Several and they also disaster. Today there were 2 games. I've come out to say the old notes are legal. They remain legal tender even till December 31, or at least till December 1. But this is not the first time the Supreme Court has been a verdict, or I say an concerning the old Naira note. The first after the joint when the court asked the Supreme Court, everybody maintain status quo, and we saw a presidential president came and said, okay, it would make 2 Naira people to Nigerians, but 500 Naira wasn't the nation of the Naira would remain an illegal tender. So we now had conflicting orders from the Supreme Court. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know how to, emphasize the court to you, but the Supreme Court. I mean, very Supreme Court. And there was the order from President, 2 different orders. A lot of Nigerians don't know which order to take. Even though lawyers argue that the President and the General opposed the Supreme Court. Every reform says the President will heed to the verdict of the Supreme Court. But I'm wondering, people out there, are they collecting? Because now I believe things should be running. A lot of you who still haven't the old note to be out there trying to use it. Are people accepting the old note? Are people welcoming these judgments? Because I was talking to someone and she was people are still people are scared, the president, and people are let's just leave it like that. But I'm wondering, how are you reacting to the judgment of the Supreme Court? What's your reaction? Do you think people are going to spend the whole Naira notes that were in possession? Is everything seemingly returning back now? Do you think things will seemingly back now? This is what I think. Still giving judgment. But with the CBN available notes that they took away from public. Remember, trillions of Naira were across the nation. I'm eager to know, this is me. I see how the president will read this. And I'm open the phone line and people say, do you think it's good? I'll be here from you. 0799. That's live on Facebook and Nigeria for pages to handle. Set on your app or online and just use the live stream. Drop your comments below. I read it. Let's take our first call. 92.3.
Hello. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening. What's your name?
My name is Martha. I'm calling from Maholo.
You're welcome.
Now, the Supreme Court judgment is a welcome development. Because if you look at the situation in the country, it's alarming. How can you withdraw 3 trillion naira from circulation and print 4 billion? How will you equate that kind of mathematics? Now, apart from that, the case is in the court, and the court shifted it to March or to the final judgment. And the president came up and said the people can use 200 naira notes and 500 water that should not be used until the 8th of April. That is how people wasted the old money. Now, you are the problem. That's the system so good. Then I'm okay, and for that water, I have to use it. Nobody is not paying that again. Then stop using it. People wasted all the old money, those that are people with now forever. And then people for now, the thing is that they are taking us backwards. Some people, okay, you see, they are trying to maintain the cost system by using a good tools. It is good to me.
Thank you very much. Okay, but we also need to look at it from the political angle. We've cried over the years that we've had politicians who necessarily do not care about the people themselves, and when they get into public office, what they're trying to do is, feed themselves rather than feed the people. And like in our first conversation today, I don't believe the system anymore because the politicians have used poverty weapon to keep the people in slavery, right? So don't you think policy in some way could have reduced the level of influence or money our politicians have been able to keep? Because I was listening to reports on TV, and the Supreme Court made the choice for the governors who started this case: the governor of Kaduna State, the Kogi State, the governor of Zamfara State. And the governor of Zamfara State, Bello Mutale, was saying that people said the reason fought the Naira redesign in recent times, especially the FCC. But could we have found the way? Always this to removal of subsidy. At some time, we're going to remove the subsidy. We all marched out onto the streets and said, no, we no go agree. And many years down the line, we're beginning to feel the effect of the continuity of fuel subsidy. So I'm asking the question, how are you reacting to this? But then, could we have adapted? Could we have said, let's see how we can make it work? The implementation was flawed, I agree. It was not done properly. A lot of people suffered, including myself. I did suffer, I should say. But then, could we have adapted? Could we have found a way to make it work? Because in the UK, if you're seen spending cash, they look at you in a suspicious way. I think same thing with the US. If you're seen spending notes, cash, because everything's done either the card or the credit card. Well, I'll go for a back. I can see your call. 90.3 9G. tender. Old Naira notes. What do you make of it? Could we have adapted? I mean, I've asked this question before, but I ask it again. Why is it that the politicians are the ones championing this course? I mean, there were so many other courses or so many other issues they could have championed, so many other courses they could have championed, but they decided that it was this very one. So there's something that we're not seeing. Could we have just adapted? I did not say adapted. Someone is sending me, could we have adopted to what? I said adapted. I didn't say adopt. All right, 0700 923 0923. That's the number to call me with, to send me a WhatsApp message or a text message. Use the number 0809 0306416. All right, let's take the first call. All right, I missed those calls. Please do call. But let's read this message now. This one says, could we have adapted? I think you meant to say adapted to what? Do you know what people are passing through on a daily basis? That you have everything at your disposal doesn't mean it is the same with some of us who are struggling to survive. Do you know what it means not to go to work because you don't have transport? I like the way you all think I have everything at my disposal. 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, my name is Kingsley, calling from Port Harcourt.
All right, Kingsley, welcome.
Yes, talking about the issue on ground, the Supreme Court judgment over the legality of owner notes, I think it's indeed a record development.
Okay.
Because if they have not done this by now, I bet you, if it has stayed in the next 1 month, the government would have been picking people by the road, dead bodies by the roadside because of hunger and otherwise.
But now let me ask you a question. Do you have the belief that the old Naira notes will come back in circulation? I know it's still a legal tender. That's what the Supreme Court has said. But do you think the old Naira notes will now be seen in circulation? I mean, by what you've said, you said if the Supreme Court had not given the order, would have been seeing dead bodies around. So I'm just asking, based on what you've said, do you see the old Naira notes, in circulation anytime soon?
If that didn't happen, then that means the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court had Mr. President a dictator. Yes. So I believe that for the interest of the masses, that Mr. President should order CBN to push back that old Naira note into circulation by the Supreme Court order. You understand? You see, my utmost annoyance goes to Emefiele, the CBN governor.
Let's pause. Now, the reason why I asked you that question is this now. And I've said before, in the United States, for instance, they have the $1,000 bill. That's the $1,000 notes. They have, I think, a $10,000 notes. And these notes are legal tender, but you don't see them in public. You don't see any of the notes in public. I mean, so do you think, yes, it's a legal tender. If you have 1,000 Naira note, you can spend it, but you might not see it in circulation.
Yes, to me, I think it should be in circulation because judging from the level of our economy now, if they said, okay, we have agreed with the CBN order that the 1,000 Naira note and 500 note will not be that in much circulation, do we have the 200 notes enough to serve the people? You're talking about America and UK. These are countries that have.
All right then. I've got to let you go now. Thank you very much for your time. We'll go for another quick break. When we come back, I'll continue taking your call. Stay tuned.
Nigeria Info. Nigeria.
92.3 currently on. I am Kalada Kurubatabu and I'm asking a question. The Supreme Court judgments, how are you reacting to it? Do you think it's something that, talking about the Naira redesign, that we could have adapted to? Do you see the old Naira notes going into circulation anytime soon as well? I mean, so many questions I have, and I'm looking for answers. I do not know if you've got those answers, but I'm going to open the phone lines now. 0700 923 0923 0700 923 0923. Send your messages and WhatsApp messages to the number 0809 030 6416. This one says, good evening to you, presenter. The Supreme Court should leave us alone. We don't want the old Naira notes anymore. The 500 and 1,000 is no more our problem. They should rather focus and prepare for the presidential cases that will come to their table soon. And that is where our problem is. They should please take back their ruling on the Naira case and leave us to continue in our cashless society. Dostanshi is my name. All right, thank you very much, Dostanshi. All right, let's take some calls now. All right, I missed that one. Do call back 0700 923 0923. I missed that one as well. I'm going to take this one now. 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Yeah, I greet you.
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Go ahead.
Okay, I think generally we would have been able to adapt. Over time, we would have been able to adapt, but not without consequences. Not without consequences. I think they would have taken this thing, in strides.
Who would have? Who would have taken it?
Was not. No, I mean the policymakers, those who actually wanted us to phase out the old currency and then do this cashless thing. I think eventually would have helped the economy, would have helped Nigeria so very well. But I think the problem was that after we still had so many things in their budding stages. How do you pay if you don't have money? The woman who sells pepper, who sells granuts by the street and all that, how do you pay something for 100 Naira, you do the transfer and all that? I think that's only the bane. But if you ask me if it was something that would have helped the economy, yes, it would have. See, these days when there was no money, the issues of kidnappings and all that was, I think, very minimum. Because if you kidnap somebody and you ask for a ransom, for instance, that means nobody can pay you cash because there was no money anywhere.
Yeah, true.
You have to transfer, and then that makes it very easy for the security agencies to get to you. And so it had so many. I think the advantages abound so much, but the issues were just that there were so many things that Nigerians buy from those petty traders that may transfer, and even just imagine somebody who talked about going to work. You get into the keke to go to your office, to pay transport to your office. How do you pay if you don't have the money? How do you pay with your credit card?
But you see,
how do you pay with your debit card? How do you do all this transactions?
Sorry. Can I ask a question? Now, all of these things you've mentioned, paying, for transportation, buying pepper, like you've mentioned, are not things we need 500 Naira, 1,000 Naira notes for. So the question we should have been asking would have been, where are the 50 Naira notes? Where are the 100 Naira notes? Even the 200 Naira note that the president said should be in circulation. Why are we not seeing the 200 Naira notes in circulation? Because these denominations would have been used to pay for, the things that you've mentioned.
My point, that's what we're saying. My point is still that even when you took all these other ones out of circulation and all that, they were still not available. They were still not available. As we speak now, they are not enough. The issue before now was that the economy was killing, the economy was gradually phasing out 50 naira. Before now, you had so many things you could buy for 10 naira, 20 naira, 50 naira. But those things are gradually being phased. Those things are going away. So you no longer have plenty of those 10 naira because they cannot buy anything. They couldn't buy anything anymore. And so many people didn't have those denominations. So that's precisely my point. They are not available. Were they to be available, if we had plenty 100 nairas and those 50 naira and all that, who would complain about transportation, about buying pepper, about buying gari and all that? But because they were in short supply.
All right.
For whatever reason, that occasioned the sufferings of Nigerians.
All right, then. Okay, thank you for your time there. 0700-923-0923 is the number. Keep your calls coming in and your messages as well to the number 0809-030-6416. How are you reacting to the Supreme Court judgment on the Naira redesign policy? 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Yeah, good evening, Canada.
Yeah, good evening. What's your name?
My name is Emmanuel, calling from Azot.
All right, Emmanuel, welcome.
If you're talking about the judgment, the question to ask is, to whose interest is this judgment?
That's the same thing I'm asking.
Are no longer with the people.
Okay, that's the same thing I'm asking.
They will be forced to pay the money back to the bank. So where do we get it to spend in the first place? Okay, just a while ago, the president ordered for the 200 naira note to be released.
Yeah.
As I speak to you, you go to any bank and it's not there. In fact, we are confused. We don't even know what is happening. I think there are certain things these people have not really told us that is really happening. And I remember one other thing, that if these people had their heads put together, there was this time during Soludo's regime. Soludo printed a lot of coins. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, I do.
A lot of coins.
Yeah.
Now, if we're talking about this entering KK and all, this would have been the time to push out all those coins. All over the world, there's no economy in US, in Britain, even in Ghana here. I still have some when I visited there. When I visited Ghana, they send coins. But in Nigeria, coins doesn't exist.
But let me come in here. Let me come in here.
Opportunity to bring it out, and people would have embraced it because all what people are looking for now is money.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
For 4,000 and all that, they would have collected the coins, no matter how heavy it is, and it would have been a good time to impress it. But I don't know how they think. Honestly, so the Supreme Court judgment, as far as I'm concerned, is nonsense. It doesn't make any sense as far as I'm concerned because the money is not with the people.
All right. Thank you very much. I was going to ask you if you would accept coins if you were given. I mean, I don't think at this point, if you give a keke rider 5 naira or 10 naira notes, it looks at you in a certain way. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to take this call now. 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening to you.
I'm on to Nigeria Info.
Yes, 92.3 Nigeria Info. What's your name? Where are you calling in from?
Okay, I'm Emmanuel. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
Emmanuel, welcome.
Yeah. What I have to say about this issue is that we are already used to the cashless policy.
You should speak for yourself. I mean, you are used to the cashless policy, but I don't think every other person is.
I get that they are trying to manage politicians that are hold money.
Okay.
Yes. So to an extent, we. Hello.
I can hear you. Go ahead. Speak.
To an extent, I think they are achieving it.
Okay.
To an extent, they are achieving it. So if anybody have any money, he did. Hello.
I can hear you. I don't have. I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. So if anybody has eaten any money, it will be very difficult for that person now to spend it. So to an extent, you only suffer for it for a while. before you know, it will be stabilized again. That's my take on it.
All right, then. All right, thank you very much for your time. Messages pouring in. This one says, the Naira redesign policy was a very good policy, but the politicians aided by their cronies in the banks ensured that it failed. The new Naira notes released by the CBN were simply handed back to the politicians who hoarded it to punish the populace. I weep for this country. Okay, Rumodumaya. All right, I'm taking another call. 92.3. Hello?
Hello, Canada.
Yes, good evening. What's your name?
Canada, good evening. My name is Odima.
Odima, welcome.
Canada, the Naira policy and the Supreme Court judgment. I don't know how I feel. I don't know what I would say. Because this is not the first time the Supreme Court is giving a judgment concerning this particular policy.
Okay.
And you and I know what happens. I don't know
the first one was an order, an ex parte order. Now this is a judgment. You know, I know there should be no much difference because it's still the Supreme Court, but I want to believe this is a judgment, and like Erifai has said, the president will or should obey this.
Okay, that is Erifai saying if it's in a normal circumstance by now, Attorney General or the CBN governor should have released a statement. But having said that, the president has an antecedent. You know that since 2015 till today, he doesn't obey court order.
I don't know. I don't know when I don't know when and when did he not obey court order.
Can I give you examples?
Give me examples. Give me examples, please.
He said through his Attorney General that the rule of law, that the rule of law is not bigger than the state. Also, there was a way, and again.
You see, you've not been okay.
Sheikh Mohammed got the judgment some time ago. Dasuki got the judgment. You know all these things. The president do not court order. So you and I know. So for me, as long as I'm concerned, we are in a banana republic.
No. Thank you very much. You cannot say we're in a banana republic. It's a wrong statement. I have to let you go there. Like I said, you can say what you want to say in a constructive, or like I've said 1,000 times, you can say what you want to say in a constructive way. You can't say we're in a banana republic. We are in a lawful society. Why would you call it a banana republic? Anyways, moving on. This one says, Batabo, since you want to compare America and Nigeria, currency denominations, also compare the level of technology, economic development, literacy level. We should use system that our nation's development level. I believe you meant to add there. But no, I did not compare. I'm only saying, do you think, I was asking the question rather, do you think that the CBN or the federal government will release the money? And I'm saying it's one thing to be a legal tender, it's one thing to be in circulation. And then I use the American dollar as an example, and I said they have a $1,000, $5,000, $10,000 dollar notes, but it's not in circulation. There are people who possess it, who have it, but it's not in circulation. And then I'm asking, it was just an example. I did not compare, and I'm asking now: do you think the CBN, given the fact that it says it wants to run a cashless society, will then decide to release the currency, the old Naira notes, back into circulation? That's the question, and it's a solid one. Do you think? I mean, yes, we've heard the Supreme Court judgment and all, but do you think? All right, take this call now. 92.3.
Hello,
good evening. It is.
My name is Elijah, calling you from Alo.
All right, Elijah from Alo, welcome.
On the issue that is on ground concerning this matter issue, why the CBA will not release? Do they have choice? Those people who say they don't have choice, they don't even know they're in and out.
What do you mean by they don't have choice? I don't get.
They don't have choice. They need to release the money. They don't have choice because they are even looking for, as in, anything that will come up of their own, at least, even if 20% that will drop for them, they will do it so that they can get. So, And what that is the reason I understand, particularly
wait, let me explain something to you now. The old Naira notes are no longer illegal. So if you have it, you can spend it. But now the question is, okay.
Are you telling me that now? Okay, now the Supreme Court have let us to understand that we should continue making use of the old Naira note, the 500 and the 1,000 Naira. Yes. So are you telling me that now? No, the people are requesting for the money. Where do we see? But let's see. Tomorrow, from now to tomorrow, next morning, you will see the money starting circulating around.
All right.
So we should.
I said okay. I'm listening to you. Okay. All right.
So we shouldn't think of saying whether they will release that or not, because even if I'm talking to you now, those people they are even waiting for it, either our president or the Supreme Court.
But if you would
want to follow, so they will release it. Why for? They will release it.
If you would listen to me.
They will release.
Okay.
The only thing that will make them not release the money is that maybe if they stand and look and view the distance, that no matter anything that will make their fame, no matter anything that will make them go far, there will nothing that they cannot release. But if they know that this thing is for their own good, they will release it. But if not for their own good, they will say something and still keep on punishing the masses. And we have not come to understand that these masses now, okay, they have let us know that no matter how you deal with the masses,
all right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I've got to let you there. The last caller, I was trying to ask him. I mean, maybe I should explain again. It's a legal tender, I agree. But just like the 100 Naira, the 100 Naira is a legal tender as well. But we did not really see much of the 100 Naira in circulation. I don't know if you get where I'm coming from, where my question is coming from. We did not get to see a lot of the 100 Naira and 50 Naira in circulation. So what is the guarantee now that the CBN has mopped up cash from circulation, that the CBN will now throw the cash back into circulation? That's the question I'm asking. Do you see that happening? 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Hello, Doctor. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening to you. What's your name?
And the thing is that...
What's your name? What's your name, first of all?
Okay, my name is Friday. All
right, welcome, Friday.
Yeah. What I'm seeing here is that Supreme Court, they are not even employed diplomats in all this their judgment. What I'm thinking is, since they sent this thing out to December 31st, definitely we are about to face another challenge, which the same challenge we are facing now, which we are recovering from. We're about to face it
in the future.
December 31st.
Okay.
You get me?
Yeah.
If we are to be I was them. What I should have at least employed is that let the central bank, the money with the cash approved by them, they should make sure they be in circulation between now and 1 week time. Number one. Then two, which is when he failed to make sure they are in circulation, he will be sacked. That's number one. Then number two, each bank, they should at least have a minimum amount, which is at least 2 million or 1 million Naira. They should be putting in ATM every day, and there should be monitoring. Understand? Then every other person, meaning the people that are withdrawing, I think they should be limited at least 20,000 Naira.
But no, the Supreme Court,
policy, you see that.
Can you hear me?
Go to circulation and the suffering will leave the ground. Understand? Because with this judgment they've made now, December 31st, we still be facing this same challenge.
Can you hear me now, Friday? Now, the Supreme Court, according to Governor of Kaduna State, the Supreme Court has removed the Supreme Court has removed limits. So there is no limit to the money you can withdraw. But then again, I've listened to you. 1,000 Naira note was illegal, or has been a legal tender, the new 1,000 Naira note and the new 500 Naira note. But we still did not see much of it in circulation. So what is the guarantee that we would see, even if they give an order, we would see these Naira notes in circulation?
That is why I said that their judgment is supposed to be those monies should be in circulation instantly between now and one week time. Then if I actually refuse for those monies to be in circulation, it will be sacked.
Okay.
You understand?
All right then.
It will be removed from office with all those things. Understand? If we see this threat, we understand. Just as they said also that when he refused to approve this old Naira note again, that he will be sacked. So that the sack is supposed to be placed on when he refused to put those drugs that were approved already in circulation to be sacked. So from there, they will take the matter on. Before you know, all this thing will be in of the past.
All right then. Thank you very much. I've got to go for another short commercial break. When I come back, I'll read some more messages. I'll take some call, and after that, the major news at 6. Stay tuned.
Nigeria Info. Nigeria. I'm listening.
Nigeria Info.
The hub for information,
current affairs, and more.
The president used his last Democracy Day address to talk about several issues, including security.
It is this same government that they started it. They don't obey conduct.
Join the conversation.
Right
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. On the news this evening, pipeline explosion kills 12 people in Rumekpe community. Labour Party governorship candidate in Bevere State denies relinquishing ticket. Governor Wike thanks Nigerians for backing power shift to the south. Court grants request to inspect presidential election materials. Court orders all 200 naira, 500 naira, 1,000 naira notes to remain in circulation. On the foreign scene,